Ladies and gentlemen, you found it. The Greg Simoneau Show, starring Greg Simoneau. I am still living with your goat. Rip up a picture of Tom Brady. Shh. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I am Greg Simoneau, and this is the Greg Simoneau Show. Thanks for being here. I had to dance twice. You might not see that at home, but I had to dance twice. I'd just like to thank PAC TV and PAC TV staff for having me here tonight. Thank you. Thank you. Special thanks to Dustin in the control room and Dave behind the camera. Thanks. And you know, I just wanted to start off by saying, like, just give it a second. You know what I mean? Like, calm down. All right. A lot of the other shows, they won't give credit to PAC TV, you know, and we're in this awesome studio here. So if you've been watching my show, you know I've done some stuff from home, but tonight I'm in the awesome studio, glorious studio, and studio/nude photography center. Thanks to just everyone, Carol, Melissa, Donna, Dave, Max, all the guys. I just wanted to start off, well, let me just say, hi Mom, Dad, hi Scott. Thanks. Let me just get that out of the way. I just want to start off with a little thing. When I walk through the halls of PAC TV, I hear a lot of talk about Chris Cooper, the actor Chris Cooper, the star. You know, his picture's up on the wall out there. And if you spend much time at PAC TV like I do, you'll hear rumors like, ooh, Chris Cooper is going to do the reboot of Alf, you know? He might be, Danny Tanner or the alien, I don't know. And you'll hear stuff like, oh, I saw Chris Cooper at the grocery store, you know, or I saw Chris Cooper at Best Buy, or I talked to Chris Cooper at the dump. Well, I just wanted to share this with you, Plymouth. I talked to Chris Cooper while he was taking a dump. At Home Depot, okay, in the stalls, we both walked in together, and he went something like this. Hey, are you that Chris Cooper fella? Yeah. Yes, nice to meet you. Well, sir, I just have one thing I want to say to you. I loved you in American Duty. And he didn't answer on that one. And I just heard the stall slamming and there's some running out of the area, so. But I think I have everyone beat on Chris Cooper stories, if that were true. But Chris Cooper, he's not Plymouth. He's like Kingston, right? So I don't know why we're trying to lay claim to him, you know? And I was thinking, you know, we could do a little better, Plymouth. You know what I mean? Like, we could use a star. It's not going to be me, so just get that out of your head right now. But I was thinking about this. Who could we get? Who could we trade Chris Cooper for? And then it hit me. And, you know, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. But here's a comp in Chris Cooper's area. Here's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath comp. Ready? Ready for it? Willem Dafoe. Yes, I was hoping I'd say Willem Dafoe. Yes. Could we trade Chris Cooper for Willem Dafoe? Willem Dafoe is much creepier than Chris Cooper. That would be a total upgrade. It would be so awesome. Just think about it. You could be on vacation or at a bar or something and be like, oh, where are you from? I'm from Plymouth. You know what? We got that Willem Dafoe. And people be like, oh, Willem Dafoe. You know, as it is, you could say Chris Cooper if you want to. But Plymouth, are we really going to claim Chris Cooper for ourselves? Come on now. And if you saw Willem Dafoe at the grocery store, you're not stopping him. You're not talking to him. You're just running the other way. You'd be like, oh, he would scare the shit out of you. He'd be like, no. I'd be like, Willem, he'd be like, no. His face is so much. So that's one idea. Another idea I thought, here's like a high rise, you know, with a nice view right here. There's another comp in the Chris Cooper area. Ready? Ready for it? Steve Buscemi, yes! I was hoping I'd say Steve Buscemi, yes! Oh, yes! He's so much better than Chris Cooper. Chris Cooper couldn't hold Steve Buscemi's mail, okay? That's what I'm talking about right there. Steve Buscemi, oh, so awesome, so creepy. And I just wish we could trade Chris Cooper for him. You know, maybe we could lure him there. Maybe if we talk it into existence, Steve will come to... Those bug eyes, come on. His movies are way better. Come on. Steve Buscemi, I was like, just think about it. You're on vacation again. We're from Plymouth. Oh, yeah, where's that? You know, that town. We got that Steve Buscemi. Oh, yes, we love him, yes. But as it is now, it is pretty cool that we can say Chris Cooper is around. Does that make up for it? Does that make up for everything I said? So another thing I wanted to say is I've been watching some ads, and I saw like this perfume ad, and it has my favorite, Charlize Theron. And, you know, before I begin about Charlize Theron, some people might not know who that is. I mean, she's just a mega superstar, but the public access station, we cater to sort of an older audience. I want to shout out to my people at the senior center. How you doing? Pill time. That's just wrong, but okay. Anyways, my mom and dad, they might not know who Charlize Theron is, so I said, this is what I'll do. I'll do like a mashup. Okay. So how can we do it? Okay, here we go. You take my Uncle Charles, right? My Nana Liz. And my old baseball coach, Ron, the Ron. So you get Charles, Liz, the Ron. Charlize Theron. Okay, and that'll help you in your Google searches for him, right? But if you took my uncle's mugshot, he's average looking, okay? And then you took my Nana's face. You know, typical Nana, kind of weird looking. God rest her soul, Nana. Bless you, heaven. You took her face. And then you took my old baseball coach, and he's a good-looking guy. This is Ron. That's the Ron. And you put them all together, you would get something not even close to Charlize Theron. And Charlize Theron is more than just like insane good looks, right? You know, she is an entity unto herself. She is something much bigger and bolder. And you see her in this perfume ad, and you're like, okay, all right, I'm taking it, yep. It won't get you, maybe we'll get you to buy the perfume, I don't know. But I thought, what happened on the day they shot this perfume ad? They're like, okay, you have Charlize Theron for one day. And the director's like, okay, what can we do? We have Charlize Theron. Charlize, how about you wear this lovely gold outfit? Yeah, right. And I imagine Charlize went up to them and she probably said something. I don't have a Charlize impression, but she probably said something like this. How about I come out of a public pool naked, walking towards the camera, speaking French? Would that work? And they were probably like, oh yeah, that would do. Do you want to do that? Sure. But Charlize, how about instead of a public pool, we put like some models around it? And that's what we got. That's the J'adore commercial right there in a nutshell. And I don't know how long I've been going on here, but I just wanted to say, just one other little thing that caught my mind this week. I delivered a magazine to my friend's house, and I was like, it kind of surprised me, you know? I was like, oh, Chris reads Cosmo? Just think of all the conversations we could have had I known this whole time. You know, we could have talked about Charlize and Chris Cooper. So we had some missed opportunities there. We're going to take a little break, and I'll be back with some more show. Thanks a lot. Yeah. When I take a big sniff in the world of perfume, old smells start to smell stinky to me. Mushrooms look bigger, and I can smell the moon. My unique body chemistry and signature scent profile smells like Wade Boggs after he's finished a 30 rack and a bucket of chicken, which he then finishes with 3,000 hits of sweaty socks. Sometimes a scent family can adopt an orphan note, which can enrich both of their smelly lives. Orphan Annie smells like ginger in the West Side. Woody families are a cross between warm and fresh. That's fine, but I think woody smells should be when you smell freshly cut lumber and sawdust. Sort of a middle-aged contractor's very worn gray hoodie with small tears in it. That's a woody family to me. The dry down is like the scent sweet goodbye. Goodbye, sweet scent. Goodbye. Now dry me down with a thick towel and lather me with sandalwood. I sometimes let my mood pick my scent. Right now my mood is earthy, with a hint of Smurfette, a catch of the Powerpuff Girls, and I finish with She-Ra. If I had to pick a scent for Plymouth, it would be pungent, with remnants of low tide, scurvy, and a lack of shelter. I want to just end this on my 5 favorite Smurf perfumes, if you'd indulge me. My favorite Smurf perfumes are Smurf Perf, Eau de Toilette de Gargamel, Smurfette number 5, and of course, Sex Papa. Hi viewers, Greg Simoneau here again. I saw this show the other day, and maybe you're not like me, maybe you don't watch a lot of public access, but here are some of my notes from this show. I don't know if I should mention the show, but I think Dustin said I should review some of the other shows on here. And I don't want to give credit to Dustin on this idea, because I don't want it to be bad, and then like people say Dustin had a bad idea. But he's been after me to stir up some business between the shows, and I think it's a great idea. Like somebody watched my show, and they could say, the quality's not good or whatever, and I could watch some of their shows and be bored out of my freaking mind. Oh, dig at the other shows, right? Back in the day when I used to do a little stand-up comedy in Cambridge, it only lasted like a year or two, but it was at the beginning of the internets. We didn't even have Facebook, So we had a message board, and all the comedians would go after the other comedians, and it felt like you were, part of something. And I just think it would be great if the other shows would come after the show and whatnot, But maybe this is the only show that does that, and maybe that's fine. So this is the show I saw the other day. It was called How to Survive College, right? And I got through the whole thing, and I was like, okay, all right. So and the girl that was hosting it, I don't know, some girl, and she was saying like it was a webinar, and it was like I was watching a computer screen. And so, okay, right? So right there, I've got them beat, right? Like this is an actual TV. You're watching a webinar, people. This is real. So she was interviewing this guy, and he seemed nice, great set of teeth. I just want to say that. In the background was a green screen, but they just left it green. So I thought that was kind of an odd choice. But it didn't distract me. I tried to get his message. Here was some of his message. He was saying, you got to get out of your own head. You got to get rid of the mental barriers. You got to approach something like, what are my intentions? Are my intentions genuine? And you're just like, I don't want to say, because I probably do it on my show too, but that's a lot of double talk and filler right there. I'm just saying, I don't think his intentions were genuine, telling us to rate our intentions as being genuine. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense. He wanted us to build genuine relationships. Sometimes you think someone is going to be helpful, and they're not. They're not helpful to where you want to be and where you're going. Like that's what he was saying to me, and I was like, So he wants us to like step on the little people on the way up to the top, or if someone's not being helpful, use them up, squeeze them out like a sponge, and then throw them away. So that's what he wants us to do with these people. So he wants us to value building relationships. And he kept saying genuine. And this is one thing. When you keep saying genuine, you're probably not being genuine. That's just maybe this man's opinion. I don't know. He wanted us to utilize relationships and find what fits you. I don't know. It's just a lot of double talk. And then, so she would ask him questions from, I guess out of mid. She's pulling them from the interwebs. Apparently it's some kind of chat room or something. Something that I don't comprehend. But she's like, "Oh, we have someone else asking you about internships." Mm-hmm. Yep. And he was saying, "Oh, this and that," and then he said, "I'm dropping industry insight on you right now," and I think if you say you're dropping industry insight on us right now, maybe you're not dropping industry insight. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, whatever. And I tried to they talk so fast. Both of them, they're just like, they're like, this is the JA leadership at leadership something. And come to our Impact Summit Saturday, October 9th. And I was like, ooh, that was like 6 months ago. I watched this whole thing, and then at the end, come visit us Saturday, October 9th. And I'm like, he was like, this Saturday. I'm like, either way, it's 6 months out, either 6 months this way or 6 months that way. I'm like, ooh, And the one thing I wanted to say about the Greg Simoneau show is that, the quality might not be there, but we're fresh. This is fresh. This is within the last 2 weeks, you're seeing this, okay? This is not some old age, stinky webinar from 6 months ago, okay? This is fresh. We're doing it now. So, and then I tried to get it said webinar bit.ly/OOE events. So, if you are watching that, that's just my critique of your webinar. And I look forward to seeing it again. Hopefully, I'm not going to say it, but like, geez, a 6-month-old episode? What the heck? A lot of double talk. A lot of felt like, I was watching a computer screen. It almost felt like I was at I was doing my wife's job, where she sits on a call, and they have lawyers speak. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of like that. So I was like, great, just what I wanted, to do more work, but whatever. So that's how that segment goes, and we'll be back in a minute. They only sell perfume in small doses. I need more. Where's BJ's with my gallon of Drakkar Noir? Where's my 2-liter bottle of Brittany? Where's my bathtub full of J-Lo? Some perfumes are $90 retail, but now only $45. Good. I wasn't going to pay $90 anyways. Not the way I use it. And by the way, $45 is still under investigation. Usually the most beautiful or exotic looking people have their own perfume lines. Why? Perfume doesn't make you look better. Where's the drunken bum selling his stench of poor false hope and broken dreams? Natalie Portman asks, what would you do for love? Good question. I love you, Natalie, but I'm still not buying your apricot rose peach water. And just one final note. Natalie, you starred in Phantom Menace and Thor Love and Thunder. Haven't you stuck up the place enough already? After the death of Han Solo, Count Dookie gathers bounty hunters and scum alike to the far corners of the galaxy to have a little memorial for the fallen Han Solo. Welcome, welcome. I am Count Dookie. Oh my God, it smells in here. What is there, a Gamorrean guard in here? It smells like the inside of Greedo's snout in here. What's going on in here? I'm not wearing my towel today. I don't always bathe when I come in here. We're still doing the skit, right? Han Solo has fallen. His son stabbed him and he literally fell into an abyss. Death by lightsaber to the sternum. Glorious day. I've been looking forward to this. Someone will probably make a comic book that has Boba Fett caught him while he was flying with his jetpack, but that'll be just a farce. Where on the timeline are we? We're not sure. Damn bugs in here. So a little update. Me and some Force sensitive tried raising his remains, but when we put them together, they just looked like that young actor from the movie Solo. No one wanted that. We thought, this can't be right. I don't even think Indiana Jones could find him at this point. By the way, last time we had a memorial for my brother, Count Dooku. All the finger sandwiches were eaten too quickly. And if Kylo Ren and the First Order show up again, those beasts, tell them we're out of finger sandwiches and they can have none. Although it is a great honor that we have Kylo Ren, the man who killed Han Solo. I know the First Order was still looking for Han Solo. Conja Club was looking for him, whatever the hell that is. It sounds like where me and Count Dookie used to play dominoes at the Conja Club. And it always makes me wonder, was Boy George part of that Conja Club? I don't know. Also, the Huts were still looking for him. They're always looking for wall decor. Bosk, from like 30 years ago, is still out there. Really, has anyone heard from Bosk at this time? I mean, I think he might have taken that bounty hunter scum line a little too hard. I mean, I want to do a toast, but I don't have anything. But here's to all of you that have a toast out here. Here's to Greedo and everyone else he's screwed over all these years. I mean, really, who drops their cargo at the first sign of Imperial entanglements? I mean, really, I'm going to enjoy this. All right, thank you, everyone. There's light refreshments, and you can talk to my Force-sensitive friends. Thank you. Hi, Greg Simoneau here again. I came up with a few lists that I thought you might enjoy. I may have already done these lists before, but let's see what happens. This one is sort of like kind of a long list, but it's inspired by the Impractical Jokers when they do Crayon McBasketball. It's kind of like that. I've been making these lists at work before I saw that show anyways, but, you know, it's in that genre. It's inspired by them, but also it's totally original. Okay. These are some roller derby names I thought I just might like to throw out there. Cigar de Pardue, Frisbee Child, Plastic Comb Greaser, Hula Guy, Stranger Dings, Lorraine Suckass, Eduardo Rubbersome, Quentin Buck Me, McKinley Cool Skates, Lizzie Dig My Skates. Now, I don't know if you know what roller derby is, but they don't really show it on PAC TV, but it's like a sport where they sort of roller skate around and fight. It's kind of like wrestling on rollerblades or roller skates. And they push each other into, you understand? Okay. To all the people down in the senior center, you may remember roller derby from the 80s, right? Pill time! I'll do it with you. I'll do one with you. And the Greg Simoneau Show does not endorse taking more than your dosage of pills. Always consult your physician and nurses down there at the senior center.